All right, so we have another player getting suspended for taking something. In this case, it's John Collins. I think there's two conversations to have. One, if this is the new thing for the NBA and we should expect this more often, and also what this does to the Atlanta Hawks. The 8-1 was just about the Suns, but now that this has happened for a third time, if we include Wilson Chandler from the offseason, I think this is something to talk about now. So, in the case of Ayton, he took something that you would typically take to mask something else, right? In the case of John Collins, he got hit with growth hormones. And I don't feel like looking up what Wilson Chandler's was. I guess it's one of two things that's happening right now. Either players just started taking things out of nowhere, or they were already taking them and the NBA just got better at actually checking these things. Now, for whatever it's worth, John Collins and DeAndre Ayton have not been in the league very long, so take that for whatever you will. Maybe veterans have some better way of dealing with all this, getting around it. There's a chance they're not taking it, but they probably are, let's be honest, at least some of them. And, you know, wherever you stand on the moral ground of should they be able to take things or not, I mean, I don't know. I'm not educated on everything these guys are taking. I don't know what gives you an unfair advantage and what just allows you to keep your body as, you know, good as it can be over an 82-game stretch where you're not getting as much sleep and things like that. That's a whole different conversation. But regardless, the rules are what they are. Now, both Ayton and Collins have claimed that they didn't know that the banned thing was in the stuff they were taking. Now, I don't know. I mean, I would hope that they weren't, like, bullied or pressured into taking exactly whatever it is they took. And, I mean, I don't know. Like, is there going to be some sort of investigation that gets blown up from all of this? Like, for all I know, there's some agency or line of trainers that's close to the NBA that is telling dudes to take stuff that they shouldn't actually be taking. And if that's the case, well, then this could end up opening a massive can of worms. There's also a chance that these are just two isolated incidents, and there's probably going to be a couple more here and there in which dudes just didn't do their due diligence of really figuring out what they were taking. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see all that. As far as, like, speculation of is anyone else going to get caught, I mean, probably. And, I guess then if you want to put the tinfoil hat on, it's the idea of will the NBA suspend someone who, you know, this is going to sound mean to John Collins and DeAndre Ayton, but will they suspend someone who really matters for their pocket, okay? I'm talking if there is some top 15, top 20 player in the league who's taking something and they find out, are they going to do anything about it? I mean, look, there's more than one person on Twitter who thinks LeBron is taking something, okay? If they found out that LeBron actually was taking something that was not allowed, like, would they suspend him 25 games? Don't know. We'd have to see on that one. Of course, we'll never really know unless it actually happens, so there's that. So yeah, that's all interesting. As far as what happens with the Hawks, they just lost their second best player. Luckily, Trey Young's, I think it was an ankle injury, was not as bad as it looked. So he's either back or about to be back. And we figure the starting lineup is now, assuming Trey Young doesn't have some sort of setback, it's Trey, Cam for some reason, Hunter, Len, and is it Jabari Parker? Is Jabari starting? He's actually been kind of okay on offense so far. That team is not good. Trey Young's going to have to go nuts. And to be fair, he has been going nuts. But, I mean, Collins showed some progress defensively this season. And offensively, of course, lobs and he was making threes and stuff like that. So, that's tough. No doubt about it. And, unless this team gets like Kevin Huerter and whoever else just really making shots and making up for Cam's rough start and Hunter. I mean, we knew he wasn't a natural offensive player going into this, so I guess we're not as frightened with him. But even so, he hasn't been good from outside. They're going to need somebody to emerge a little bit. Maybe it is Jabari. I mean, maybe this is Jabari Parker's opportunity to be like, yeah, I'm still pretty good. I mean, look, the dude can score. We know this. We know he can make threes. We know he can go off the dribble a little bit. It's just a matter of, can he really play in an offense, and can he not dribble into traffic, and also can he be like at least a little respectable defensively and all that. And I guess we can look at the defense a little bit more now, because the thing with Collins is he gave them a bit of chaos on defense, right? He could defend a few positions, he could have a presence around the rim, and now you're going from that to something, to say the least. And the fact that Trey Young is still here, and Trey, he may try on defense, but he's Trey Young. He's never going to be a good defender. It's just the way it is. So to have to deal with that while losing Collins and Jabari probably getting a few more minutes, maybe Cam and DeAndre can really be something defensively. I mean, Cam's defense has already been something, and DeAndre, the hope with him is that he can be an awesome defensive player. So there is some hope that defensively they don't fall off a cliff here. As far as offense is concerned, besides like hoping Jabari can be all right, I mean, the Trey Collins two-man game was something, and of course that's going to be gone for 25 games now. Basically it's going to be tough is the way I'm getting around this. And I wrote off the Suns, and then they've been totally fine, so I don't want to just cancel the Atlanta Hawks because Collins is going to be out 25 games, but it's going to be tough. I didn't have these guys making the postseason anyway. Now I definitely don't, but I don't know, maybe they won't suck. Like if Trey Young goes out and scores like 28 a game, they're going to have a chance against a lot of teams. So that's the hope.